Boy JAYSTAR back. It's showdowns, man. We talking about showdowns because the showdown is finally up for $1 million for $10 bet, man. I'm super excited today, y'all. Like, I love showdowns. I mean, my first big cash win was on showdowns, and after that, I just start like trying to go crazy on trying to figure out how to win these things, man. But I got really good at these last year. It was a little different. I had to adjust to the new, like I said, the defense changed, last season, y'all. So you had to learn how to win. And I'm gonna go through what I learned basically. And so that way y'all can start winning this season, man, on these showdowns. Because if you're not good at showdowns, you're better on the all day slate games on Sunday and stuff like that. But you want to get better at showdowns. You want to be able to compete and win these showdowns, man. Watch this video today so I can tell y'all how y'all can do better at these showdowns. So we're going to first go over the first 3 ways that you can win, and then we'll go over 3 steps on how you win. So the 3 ways that you can win in a showdown is having a 5v1 lineup, a 4v2 lineup, and a 3v3 lineup. So I'm just going to quickly go through these because I already have 6 up, but I'm going to go through just 3 of them right now. So right here we got 5v1 lineup: Josh Allen, Bills defense, Crowder, James Cook, Gabriel Davis, Cooper Kupp run back. Okay, so that's an easy, these lineups like this will probably tie, for $1 million might be a million ties, shoot, having a lineup like this, because it's so obvious. Like, you thinking, Josh Allen's going off, Bills defense, they blowing out type of situation, and the run back is Cooper Kupp. It's just super obvious. So most people have that lineup. A 4v2 lineup, it's supposed to be less people that have this lineup, but last season, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, it was a lot of ties on 4v2s. So I wouldn't say it's the, you win though. I mean, at the end of the day, like, that's what I'm saying. And it kind of hurt me because I didn't really like 4v2s a lot, but this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, this is the new way, I would say, of winning now, because these 4v2s, man, kept winning all season. I want to say like 85% of the time of the season, it was 17 game season, these 4v2s was winning the showdowns, man. So, but we got one right here with Stephon Diggs, captain, Gabriel Davis, Josh Allen, James Cook, and then Cooper Kupp, and then Nick as a run back, right? And so, like I said, these were winning last season, but the only difference I would say in a lineup like this, it would have been, instead of Nick, it would have been a backup running back. So like Henderson, I guess. I couldn't afford him knowing this, but if there was like there's ones down here, like, let's see, if you knew this dude right here who's out, but if he wasn't out and he was playing and you could afford him, you would took him, because if he came in a blowout situation like this still, because it's 4 Buffalo Bills players, it's probably Cooper Kupp run back in a pass catching running back in catching about 10 points fantasy for you. So as your sleeper, so that would have been a 2 run back, and that's what was winning last season, man. I'm telling you, over and over and over, and everybody had that. I'm telling you, everybody had it. But then the last way right here is a 3v3 lineup. We got Gabriel Davis, captain, Jamison Crowder, Josh Allen, then Cooper Kupp run back, Higbee run back, and Matt Gay run back. So these were the type of lineups that used to win a lot more, but these are also the type of lineups that don't tie as much because it's more complicated. The more complicated that things get, like it's just like the all day slate. You want to stack as much as possible. So you thinking like a 5v1 lineup, you just picking 5 people from one team. It's like a full stack one team, and then you just running back the best possible option, right? So, but the 4v2 is almost the same thing. It's 4 stacking one side and then just running back the 2 best possible options, right? So it makes it easy. But these 3v3s are hard, because you're picking Gabriel Davis here. I got Jamison Crowder here. I got Josh Allen to go with them. He's throwing the ball to both of them, but maybe Gabriel Davis gets the 100 yards plus with a touchdown, and Crowder gets a 50-yard and a touchdown or something like that. So then Josh Allen, has decent numbers, but just not better than Gabriel Davis. We got Cooper Kupp in the run back. We got Higbee, since they kind of run in the same area or kind of do the same type of plays in the offensive scheme, then it's both of them. And then we just got Matt Gay kicking, because maybe the only one of them scores a touchdown, and Matt Gay is kicking a lot of field goals that game. But see this part right here, picking Matt Gay. We had Bills defense, Tyler Bass, all in that same area right there, that we could have put in, and it would have made that be also Zach Moss, James Cook, all those people right there. It could have made it be a 4v2 lineup real easy. But it could be just because Matt Gay, kicks a field goal, drops the defense down, and then it could be a 50-yard field goal. He gets 5 points for that. and it drops the defense down 3 points, and now you're up 2 points with Matt Gay. You know, those type of situations be happening, and it hurts. It be hurting people because they thought they was perfect with the 4v2, and then next thing you know, here goes the field goal for 50 yards, and it drops the defense, and or it surpasses the other kicker on the winning team. You know, like, because this could be easily this easily can go either way right here with this lineup. When you got a 3v3 lineup, it could be the Bills one or the Rams one, really. So it makes it harder. But I would say 3 to 4 years ago, you know, seasons ago, these type of lineups was winning all the time. Like, there was more shootout type of, you know, games. So a 3v3, you needed 3 players on each side to win, you know. But now with the defense, now it slows it down and makes it a lot tougher for people to get a lot of fantasy points. And a lot of shootouts that happen, it doesn't really happen no more. So it's more one-sided, one way. I would say a team is, you know, beating the other team, and it's more of like this other team has to come back, you know. So it's gonna be like, oh, like I said, a 5v1 type of situation, or 2 people just coming back. So that's why it made sense that it was a 4v2. But I was just so used to winning on these 3v3s, y'all. So that's why I say, like, I had a hard time adjusting to it, but I ended up getting it together by the end of the season. I start understanding, like, okay, that's what's winning. So but I'm gonna go through the ways now to teach y'all how y'all win on these things, man, because I know a lot of people have a hard time with showdowns. Not everybody is good at them. So I want to help y'all out this season with winning and, you know, having the right mindset going in so y'all can create lineups that actually win this season, you know. So my first step, you know, when I'm making my showdowns is, you know, getting the highest fantasy point, you know, person at the top, who I feel like is going to be the highest fantasy person, you know. Like, when you go through, you see at the top, I'll clear this lineup up real quick so that way y'all can just see. So right now we got Cooper Kupp, highest person on the fantasy, you know, to pick, and we know he averaged right here 28 fantasy points. So, like, obviously it's telling you to take him, right? Or Josh Allen, 27.6, right? Matthew Stafford, yeah. So the thing is, I would say this season it was a lot of slot receivers and stuff like that was going off. So you have to make sure, though, you know, the scheme is perfect and everything. But we're just gonna go through just saying who scores the most fantasy points. Yes, Cooper Kupp scores the most fantasy points. Yes, Josh Allen does too. Stafford can score good fantasy points. You know, Stephon Diggs can definitely get off for a great 20-something fantasy points, right? Cam Akers, maybe not so, you know, like, depending on, you know, the matchup and everything. And then Gabriel Davis, yeah, we saw him kill it. Let's go then right here. We saw him kill it the last game of the season, right? Is it going to go? Okay, great. Okay, 55 points. Yeah, I mean, he was captain this game for sure, man. It was crazy. Overtime game, too. 55 fantasy points at captain, man. You had to have him. Had to have him. And I'm sure his salary, if he was that in the flex, you know, area, then he was crazy. He was crazy low, you know, cheap captain, man. And it allowed you to get everybody you needed from that game. But 55 fantasy points, oh my God. Because, you know, at the end of the day, like, when you pick the captain, those 55 points is times 1.5 right here. So 55 points times 1.5. There was nobody else in that game that had 55 points. So his points times 1.5 killed it for you right there. You probably could have almost had, I want to say, some of the people that didn't even, I mean, you probably could have had a 0 in your lineup and you still won some money with that. Like, serious. But you want to have the, you know, the top highest scoring person and player in the, you know, in the top captain spot right here. That's the way you get started. But the thing is, what I want to say, the step 2 thing is, you want to know the offensive scheme, and you gotta make a freaking movie. Like, you know, you want to, like, write a movie, like, storyline to how you think this game is gonna go. So once you say, I'm taking Josh Allen at captain. Oh, let me move that. Oh, gotta flip this. Okay, here we go. So once I say I'm taking Josh Allen at captain, and in my head, like I told you, it's 3 ways you win with, you know, how you win these lineups. So, like, after that, I'm like, I think it's going to be a 5v1 lineup, okay? So that's the start of my script, like, right there. Like, I'm saying Josh Allen is going to be my captain. He's the highest scoring, you know, one of the highest scoring fantasy persons. So after that, I got to start putting together a storyline, y'all. So the offensive scheme, I'm thinking Josh Allen is everything, you know, like, to the Bills. Like, they run with him, that he's throwing to whoever the offensive scheme is saying that he's supposed to go to. So if I pay attention to the Rams and I realize that they give up the slot and they give up the wide out on the left side, okay? So, and I'm thinking, okay, and then also when they get to the goal line, I seen that they give up rushing to quarterbacks that rush in, you know, for touchdowns. I'm automatically thinking, well, that's Josh Allen at the top, most points for him. But then after that, I gotta say, okay, who's playing in the slot? Jamison Crowder. So I'm like, oh, he's throwing to Jamison Crowder. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna throw a touchdown to at least Jamison Crowder one time at least. So then after that, I might be like, he dumps it off for one touchdown to the running back, curling out the backfield, It's because I'm like, oh, in the slot area, and then the running back could curl out right behind the slot, and then he catches a touchdown, because the next time after Crowder hit one, they might double him, and then here comes James Cook. Boom. So then after that, I'm like, I see, since this is a 5v1 situation, I definitely didn't see Matthew Stafford throwing a pick to the Bills defense. You see what I'm saying? Like, so now I'm like, okay, they down big, because he threw a pick, and then Josh Allen again, rushing, throwing to Crowder, dumping it off to James Cook down the field, trying to get down the field with this offensive scheme strategy. And then I'm like, okay, I might want to run back somebody now, So I'm like, who in this situation, they already pretty much down, like who's getting the most targets, for them to come back. They're still trying to come back, guys, So like who are they going to? And I'm like, it's got to be Cooper Kupp, He's going to have the most snap counts, and that's the third thing that we look for. So if in a run back or just period in a showdown, you want the most snap count, period. So however, like, I'm setting this up, like, I know Josh Allen is the most, he's going to be on the field every play, right, offensively. So then after that, I figured out that Jamison Crowder is in the slot the whole game, basically almost every play. He's in the slot, and he's out there for every play, at least 80-something% of the time. Then, and I know they give up the slot, then I'm taking, I got Jamison Crowder here. Same thing with James Cook, but the thing is with James Cook, he'll probably be a backup, but it's still like, okay, is James Cook out there on the field, though, for every third down snap or something, and is he always out there for not even just third down snap? Maybe it's just he's out there because first down they're doing a passing play, and he's always the back that's out there. So I see his snap count, and I know that that's another thing that the Rams give up, So the Rams give up running backs that, catch the ball. So I'm like, yeah, that's part of the game script I'm getting right here, So then, like I said, I'm thinking, like, what do the Bills give up, though, throughout the whole game? What do they kind of give up? Even if they're dominating like this, what do they give up? And if it's slot for a run back, then I'm definitely going with Cooper Kupp. If it wasn't slot, though, and if it was like the running game, then I would pick the running back, and Cam Akers, especially if he was a pass catcher back, and I know that's something the Bills gave up. I would run back Cam Akers. But since I kind of already do know this, though, that, the Bills do give up the slot, I'm running Cooper Kupp, so that goes with the storyline here. And then I'm like, just to finish it off, I'm going to take Gabriel Davis because I feel like they blowing him out so bad. I already have a running back. I could have took Singletary too, but I could have took also Dawson Knox too because he gets a lot of red zone targets. So I could have said, it's 5v1. They get into the goal line over and over and over. And Dawson Knox is one of his favorite targets to hit, at the goal line. But if also I think they might have a deep catch, because the left side cornerback is pretty bad, and I know that's where Gabriel Davis is at, then I'm running Gabriel Davis right here. And that's going to finish off my 5v1 lineup. But, like, you see how, like, I'm trying to put together a story and run and go with that whole script after that. Like, we wrote the whole script here, and we know what we want. We want a 5v1 lineup. You put together a script. You make sure you get your top highest scoring, player on that team in that script that you're running as your captain first. And after that, just put together a story. Just put together a quick story, and then it makes it so much easier, y'all. Like, it makes it so easy. Like, but when you, like, scrambling here, when you doing this, guys, and you're not putting together a story, like I just said, like, you just like, oh, I know Cooper Kupp is amazing, like I'm gonna roll with Cooper Kupp, and oh my God, Diggs is great, and man, you probably want both quarterbacks now or something, and it's gonna make this lineup. Oh, you can't even put him at both ends, but okay, so we got Stafford since we got Cooper Kupp, but then, you can make this so hard for yourself. Like, then I'm like, oh, I'll probably get the kickers, since kickers always usually get points or something. And now we got 3,800. And then, like, oh, I'm going to just take Zach Moss or something. Like, when you playing like that, you're not going to win, guys. So don't ever go into just trying to, like, put together some mess like I just did right there. Like, actually go in and think of the highest, person that you want as your captain, the highest scored person that you want as captain. And then after that, start making a storyline and already kind of come up with that you want this lineup to be a 5v1, a 4v2, or a 3v3 lineup, So that way it makes it even easier to put together your storyline. So we're going to go through these next little lineups right here. So like here, this was a 4v2 lineup. I knew I wanted to have a 4v2 lineup going into this. And then after that, I was like, what's the most fantasy points I could see, happening in a 4v2 lineup? Like how I'm going to get the most out of it, So I thought I'd take some savings on taking Stephon Diggs instead of taking Josh Allen here, But I still got Josh Allen because I know that connection right there. Every, thrown touchdown to a receiver is 10 points right there. Like you got 10 full points. So you always want to have that quarterback to go with the receiver, that you see scoring, especially if you think they're going to score twice. So, like, in this situation, I can ought to be thinking that Diggs is scoring 2 touchdowns in this game, or Diggs is just putting up 150 yards, 120-something yards in a touchdown in this game, right? Then I got Gabriel Davis, though, here, because I'm like, if one wideout is catching a touchdown, then the other one should be probably getting decent points as well, right? So, like I said, putting together a story, right? Because, like, one wideout, he moves, and he can move left or right, and I know Gabriel Davis can move left or right. So, like I said, since I already got Diggs there, I might as well take Gabriel Davis. Putting together a story, offensive scheme, all that stuff, like I always say, y'all. So then Josh Allen, running back, running him in there. And then after that, I would think, like, I want I think the running back that catches, might get some dumps, and it might get a dump into just the goal line touchdown, because by the time these two are going off like that, and then you scared of Josh Allen rushing the ball, they bring in a pass catching running back. You don't know if he's going to run or pass catch, and then he catches the ball for a 5-yard touchdown. So for $2,800, he gets a salary. Then I'm like, the run back easily, Cooper Kupp, because I know he's going to have mad targets still, and he probably can, even in a bad game, he probably gets you 15, so like a minimum of 15 points. Or shoot, maybe 20, really. But so like I gotta have him as a run back, and then I took Skowronek because like in this situation right here, say Van Jefferson, since this is questionable, imagine he was out in this game, then Skowronek would be a great play, as a run back. So because I'm even though I know Cooper Kupp is in the slot and Skowronek isn't, it's just the fact that he has more targets due to the fact that Van Jefferson is out, and since I feel that the Buffalo Bills will be trying to lock up Allen Robinson on one side, they might, let Skowronek have one-on-one, and he might get a couple, like 5 targets in this game to maybe 7, really. And this for this price, I mean, it'll be a great run back to have, especially if in this situation like here, like I said, this storyline was still thinking that the Buffalo Bills is beating the Rams. So they might be down pretty big, and then late in the game, here goes Skowronek getting 5 targets on one drive or some type of stuff, and he gets 12 to 10 fantasy points, which makes up this salary. But then I'm going to go to this 3v3 one right here, and we're going to think of the storyline that I probably made up for this. So Gabriel Davis, I'm thinking he's going to kill it, like kind of like what he just did, because in this 3v3 type of situations, like I said, you most of the time thinking that this is going to be a shootout. So when I do 3v3s, I'm thinking that it's going to be a shootout. So that's usually my storyline, like shootout scenario. So I'm like, if a shootout's happening, okay, Josh Allen's having a good, I just feel like Josh Allen, because his rushing ability is probably more needed than having Stafford, because Stafford probably has to throw almost over 400 yards really, and then 3 touchdowns to really compete with Josh Allen since he rushes so much. We go to Josh Allen, game log here, rushing 68 yards, 66 yards. This is crazy, man. Like these yards, you're talking about 10 points for every 10 yards. 1 point for every 10 yards. So you talking about 7 points here, almost 7 points here, 6 points here, 8 points here. Those extra points right there, man. Don't let him rush in a touchdown like 2 right here. Oh my God, like fantasy points is gonna be crazy. So because of that is why I have Josh Allen here still, in a shootout. But then I gotta have Cooper Kupp. I'm thinking Cooper Kupp is going off at the same time. Since Cooper Kupp plays in the slot, I'm thinking Higbee probably gets the same type of near close to fantasy points in a shootout. Like if he's doing good, I would think Higbee's doing just as good. And then I would take a kicker, period. I would actually run this, both ways. Like I would take the kicker for Buffalo too as well in the shootout, but that would be a 4v2. But in a 3v3, it's usually one team doing better than the other. So I would say here that Buffalo is probably going to win the game. That's why I went with their quarterback. I went with their receiver, their captain, and then also have another, receiver that I felt like was going to do well too. But then in the run back situation, we like, okay, Cooper Kupp, scores a touchdown or two, and Higbee still gets a touchdown, and then they get stopped a few more times than the Buffalo does, and that's why we took their kicker. So I'm gonna just show y'all the other 3 lineups that I have though, just to finish this video up. But these are just going with the scenario being different. That maybe the Rams is winning the games instead. So these are 5v1 lineup right here. This is a 5v1 lineup right here with the Rams winning, and smoking them basically, So Cooper Kupp captain, obviously, and then Stafford, to go with him because we need those 10 points. Like I said, the connections on every time a quarterback throws to their receiver for a touchdown, 10 points. You always want that. So then we got the Rams defense. We thinking Matt Gay's kicking, every kick too. He's going to get every just regular field goal, but or extra point kick. But then he gets the field goals too as well. Higbee still catches, since, like I said, the correlation with them kind of running in the same area. And then the offensive scheme of the Rams, they kind of do the same plays for Cooper Kupp that they would do for Higbee. So that's why I have Higbee here instead of having Allen Robinson. And then, like I said, we got the run back right here with Gabriel Davis. This will be, I could have had, Stephon Diggs if I would have wanted, to change the storyline that it's Stephon Diggs that's going to do better. But since I would think that Jalen Ramsey might be on Stephon Diggs, it'd be a harder time for him. And I would say that Gabriel Davis would probably have the easier matchup when it comes to a run back. Sorry for the sound in the background, y'all. But yeah, so then after that, let's go to the 4v2 we have here. So the 4v2 lineup we have here, this would be another storyline we got right here. So we have the Rams winning the game, but we got Cooper Kupp captain, Stafford, to run with him, so we get the 10 points there. And then we have Allen Robinson also to go with him. So we got both of the number 1 and number 2 receivers. I probably wouldn't really have this lineup in real talk, but I do know the Rams do put plays like the same type of plays like for their wideout that they'll do for Cooper Kupp too as well. Like I said, they do that definitely for Higbee and Cooper Kupp, but they do a lot of screen pass plays, and it just switch which receiver they want to do it for, really. But like I said, I just feel like they would probably do more Higbee and Cooper Kupp if I already think it's Cooper Kupp going to have a great day. But we do know Allen Robinson could have that same screenplay too as well. And just since he's more athletic, I don't know if he's faster still than Higbee, but could be, and he can break off of that screenplay and get you more points maybe than Higbee does. So that would be the reason why I would probably still run this lineup really. But then you got Cam Akers to rush in a touchdown, and then the playback here will be McKenzie because he plays the slot. He's going to be battling with Jamison Crowder. But to run back McKenzie and then also James Cook, since he's probably going to be the pass catching back. So in that situation, like I said, this kind of real talk though, this is actually the type of lineups that was winning last season, like for real. Because like I told you, it was a lot of 4v2s and it was a lot of ones with one receiver and a pass catching back, and it was always like the backup running back, like serious. So that would be that scenario. Like I said, that's me thinking the Rams is winning, but a 4v2 scenario. So then the last one here is a 3v3 with the Rams shooting out against the Bills, but I want more Bills players instead of having Josh Allen. I want actual weapons that he's throwing the ball to or getting the ball for rushing and things like that. So this is a scenario I'm thinking that the Rams is probably pulling out this game barely, but this is a 28-24, 28-21 type of game, shootout. And I got Allen Robinson is who I think. Like I think he's gonna have the highest scoring fantasy points in this game, or at least close enough to Cooper Kupp. And so I still got Cooper Kupp in there because I know he's going to have the targets, right? I got Matthew Stafford because I feel like he outplays, Josh Allen in this situation. And then my run back is Jamison Crowder, Stephon Diggs. Since Stephon Diggs can move in or out, that would make a lot of sense that I have both of them right here, because Jamison Crowder, he kind of only plays a slot, but maybe him and Stephon Diggs kind of switch in and out, and that way it frees open Diggs for like maybe a slant route type of thing. And he takes it to the house, on a return, like on a run back type of situation here. Or maybe he gets stopped at the 5-yard line, and then I take James Cook as he might rush in the touchdown or pass catch it, the touchdown in there. So that would be that. Or like I said, this could be just complete shootout potential game. Like, Allen Robinson 2 touchdowns, Cooper Kupp 1. Stafford's thrown 3 touchdowns with 350 plus yards passing. And then we got Crowder with like an 80-yard game here and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, I would say 90-yard game and maybe a touchdown, or maybe just 100 yards and like 8 catches, something, you know, because it's shootout. Then James Cook might have two of the rushing touchdowns in this shootout game. Maybe one was pass catch, but that's what I mean. Like, make sure y'all always have a storyline to how you think these games are gonna go, man, and just stick to those 3 things. Most fantasy points at captain. Make up, not make up, but know the offensive scheme of each team, and then make up a script of how you think it's going to go. After you pick that captain, make up the whole offensive scheme and the storyline of how you think the game is going to go. Then always pick the run back person that gets the most snaps. You want the person that gets the most snap counts. So, and after that, I'm telling you, you guys are going to be winning, man. You're going to be winning these showdowns like I do. Like I said, last season was kind of hard until I realized what was actually winning for everybody. And then I was like, okay, I got to start making these 4v2s, because that's what's winning. Even though it's tying all the time, but it's winning. So you want to win at the end of the day. We all want to make this money. So I hope y'all, enjoyed the video. Get out there and win, man. Use those 3 steps, most fantasy points, offensive scheme, make your script, and then run back is always the snap count and the best option with the most snap counts. That's what you're looking for. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. It's your boy JAYSTAR. I want to say thank you for all the likes, the comments, the new subscribers. I appreciate all of y'all. I'll be dropping another video soon. I don't know exactly which one I'm going to do yet, but if y'all do have something you want to know, leave it in the comments, man. Leave it in the comments below. Also, I think I'm going to be dropping when the season starts about 3 videos a week. So I think we'll start like the first look video. Then we'll have the end of the week, like end of the week video. So once kind of injuries is all settled by Friday or something, we'll be dropping videos. And then I want to have last look on Sunday morning, lineups that I put in. So I'll probably give you 3 lineups on those mornings, probably like 8 a.m. or something like that, when everything has came out. For, like all the injuries are official probably by around then. And then we'll have those last look lineups. So y'all can get about 3 more lineups. I'll probably give y'all about 1 lineup on Friday or 2. And then that last look on Sunday mornings will be 3 lineups. So you want to stay tuned for that. So, but it's your boy JAYSTAR. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.